Welcome to This Explainer. I am so incredibly stoked you're hanging out with us today. If you're a focused learner or a small business owner trying to figure out how to truly stand out in a sea of booths, you are in the exact right place. We're unpacking a really wild paradox today based on our source material. To be truly successful, you actually have to stop trying to attract every single person who walks by. Sounds totally backwards, right? But honestly, wrapping your head around this concept is the absolute secret sauce to building a wildly dedicated fan base.
Okay, let's dive into this, because we've all been there, right? It's so completely natural to want literally every single person who sees your stuff to buy it. When you're a maker running a booth, watching a potential buyer just walk away, man, it triggers some serious fear of missing out on a sale. You start second-guessing yourself, like, oh, maybe if I just tweaked this color or offered a slightly different style, they totally would have stayed. But the source material makes a super compelling case that this fear, it's actually a massive trap. Bending over backwards to capture every passing glance isn't a growth strategy at all. It's honestly a recipe for disaster.
Let's get into exactly why this happens in Section 1, the Please Everyone Trap.
Now, I want you to really notice the word weakens here. A strong brand doesn't try to be universally appealing, period. Think about it. When you try to be a little bit of everything for everybody, you basically end up meaning absolutely nothing to anyone. It's like watering down a really good cup of coffee. A memorable brand knows exactly who it's for, it knows the exact feeling it creates, and it knows exactly what kind of customer should be instantly drawn to it. If you dilute your core identity just to catch a couple of extra random sales, you're literally washing away the very magic that makes you stand out in a crowded market in the first place.
To escape this trap, we gotta flip the script. That brings us to Section 2. Define your customer avatar. We have to stop staring at the whole crowd and start actively looking for our specific person. The source material drops this absolutely fantastic set of questions to help pinpoint exactly who we're trying to reach. You've got to sit down and ask yourself, who naturally loves what we make? What's the specific visual trigger that makes them literally stop in their tracks? What colors or inside jokes or fandoms make them feel instantly at home when they walk up to your space? You also got to know their habits, right? Like, what price points make sense for how they shop? Are they treating themselves to a fun personal discovery, or are they on the hunt for a super specific gift? Nailing down these answers gives you a complete roadmap. It helps you make rock-solid decisions about everything from your merch and pricing all the way down to the slang you use and the music you play. I mean, you definitely shouldn't be blasting heavy metal if your avatar is hunting for relaxing spa gifts, you know?
So the crucial point is this. Our goal is absolutely not to make every single passerby interested. That's just exhausting and a total waste of energy. Our actual goal is to curate an experience so dialed in that when the right customer walks by, they stop dead in their tracks and have this exact light bulb moment in their head. Oh my gosh, this is for me. It should literally feel like you reached into their brain and custom built a space just for them.
But how do we actually guarantee that kind of deep connection? Well, that brings us to Section 3, Vibe as a Filter. And spoiler alert, it's not just about cute decorations. Just imagine the stark contrast here. Say you're a dark, horror-themed maker. Your whole space needs to radiate that exact spooky energy. You absolutely should not toss in a line of pastel farmhouse decor just because you know there's a huge market for it. And on the flip side, a whimsical, super colorful booth should never water down their display with a bunch of minimalist beige stuff just to play it safe and avoid excluding someone. When you mash a bunch of totally unrelated styles together just so you don't leave anyone out, your setup just gets confusing. It becomes emotionally forgettable. You're accidentally destroying the exact vibe your true fans are desperately looking for.
So a strong visual identity is actually a vital defense mechanism, and that's a really healthy thing. It works like a beacon, flashing this incredibly bright signal straight to your avatar. But here's the best part. A strong vibe actively tells the wrong customers what your brand is not. If someone who's obsessed with pastel farmhouse decor walks past that dark horror booth and instantly thinks, nope, not for me, that is a massive win. Seriously, you just saved both of yourselves a bunch of time and you kept your space clear for the true fans to step right up.
Once you've got that beacon flashing bright, it naturally dictates our next move. Here's Section 4, Theme Creates Expectation.
Customers should begin to know exactly what kind of cool discoveries they're going to find with you. Your theme has to run deep. It is way more than just the things you sell. It creates consistency across your merchandise, sure, but it also dictates your physical displays, the actual bags you hand to the buyer, your signage, and get this, even your tone and customer service. It ripples out to your social media, how you structure mystery products, fun little additions like Gotcha Pop collections, and even your big seasonal launches. Every single one of these touchpoints is a chance to keep the promise of your theme alive.
Now let me clarify something real quick, because having a strict theme definitely does not mean every single item has to look completely identical or repetitive. That would get boring super fast. What it actually means is that everything you present should feel like it was pulled from the exact same universe. You're basically curating this cohesive, really inviting world for your avatar to step into and explore, where every item just naturally belongs together.
Which leads us to what's honestly the hardest psychological hurdle in this whole explainer. Section 5. Stop chasing every sale. Let's talk about the cost of compliance.
Let's talk about the number one, as in one single off-brand sale. Imagine a customer comes up and asks for something that completely shatters your theme. It is so tempting to think, well, it's just one item, and hey, it's guaranteed cash. I shall probably just make it. But our source material throws a huge red flag here. It warns us that this mindset is a really dangerous illusion.
See, a missed sale is actually a brilliant business move when you factor in the hidden costs of a bad sale. Adding some random off-brand category costs you way more than just your raw materials and time. Think about it for a second. It eats up premium display space that should go to your heavy hitters. It clutters up your physical storage. It drains your precious inventory budget so you can't restock your best sellers. It fractures your attention, pulling your creative brain in totally the wrong direction. And the absolute worst part, it ruins your brand clarity. Chasing a sale that pulls your business away from its core identity is going to cost you so much more in the long run.
To guard against those hidden costs, you need a serious gatekeeper. The text hands us this awesome, rapid-fire checklist that you should run every single new idea through. Ask yourself, does our specific avatar actually want this? Does it fit our established vibe? Can we naturally merchandise it next to the stuff we already sell, or is it going to stick out like a sore thumb? Does it strengthen our story or totally interrupt it? And finally, would we honestly still be genuinely excited to make and display this thing 6 months from now? Listen, if the answer to those questions is no, you have got to be brave enough to just pass on that product.
When you finally build the discipline to say no, you unlock Section 6, the chain of loyalty. This is where you build true devotion.
A booth does not need everyone at an event to stop. Let that sink in. It just needs enough of the right people to stop. Because when your true people find you, they don't just buy a sticker and bounce. They stick around. They chat. They come back the next day. They enthusiastically follow you online. They drag their friends over, and they'll spot your brand from a mile away at the next event. A clearly defined brand creates this intense, lasting devotion because customers realize they aren't just buying an object, they're buying a piece of a world that actually feels like their world.
Let's move to the path to loyalty and see how this builds into a complete framework. The source material lays out this brilliantly simple chain of logic for us. It all kicks off with defining your avatar. Knowing your avatar is what lets you set the perfect vibe. That vibe then acts as your filter, which dictates your overarching theme. The theme gives you those strict, necessary rules for choosing your product assortment. That carefully curated assortment is what creates a cohesive, totally unforgettable experience. And delivering that consistent experience is what ultimately generates intense, lasting loyalty. It's a literal step-by-step formula for building a brand that actually matters to people.
Seriously, if you remember absolutely nothing else from this explainer today, please let it be this core takeaway from the text. We do not need everyone to like us. We need the right customers to love us. Watering down your brand just to try and snatch every single dollar that walks past your table is a totally losing game. You've got to focus all that amazing energy on the people who naturally resonate with what you do best.
I want to leave you with one final provocative thought to carry with you. We've talked a lot about how a clear brand identity acts like a lighthouse in a stormy sea. So look at your own business right now. Look at your displays, your products, your whole setup, and ask yourself, if your brand's vibe is a beacon, exactly who is it signaling right now? And just as importantly, who is it bravely turning away? Thank you so much for hanging out and exploring these ideas with me today, and I really hope you use this to build something totally magnetic.